Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Dutch ebook before it's gone.
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas. Hallo daar, ik ben Thomas. Welcome to another Dutch whiteboard lesson. In this lesson you'll learn how to use adjectives to describe people in Dutch. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary. First we have the Dutch word for tall, which is lang. 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 Going on to the next one, as you can see, I've added some variations in parentheses. There's a slight difference, but these have essentially the same meaning. Let's have a look at each. The Dutch word for short can be klein. 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 Alternatively, it can also be pronounced kort. 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 We have another one with a variation for slim, which in Dutch can be slank. 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 Alternatively, you could say dun. 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 Dun literally means thin. On to its opposite, fat. In Dutch, dik. 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 Beautiful, in Dutch, again, two variations. Very commonly, mooi. 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 Or, the other word, knap. This is usually used in reference to men. Knap. Knap. Its opposite, ugly, in Dutch is lelijk. 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 Onto bald, which in Dutch is kaal. 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 The double A here extends the sound of the A. Kaal. Young in Dutch sounds very similar. Jong. 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 And then finally its opposite, old, in Dutch commonly oud. 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 A more polite version for older people is bejaard. 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 Let's look at the dialogue. As I'm reading, I want you to pay attention to the adjectives. Find what the adjective is and see how it's used in the dialogue. You ready? Here it goes. Dat is mijn oudere broer. Dat is mijn oudere broer. Dat is mijn oudere broer. That's my older brother. Hij is lang. Hij is lang. Hij is lang. He is tall. Now let's look at some more examples. Our first one here is zij is lang. Zij is lang, which translates to she's tall. Our second example, similar structure. Hij is jong. Hij is jong. Translates in English to he's young. Now let's look at the sentence pattern. This pattern is the structure that we follow in the dialogue and all of our examples. Hij is adjective. Hij is adjective. Or zij is adjective. Zij is adjective, which corresponds in English to he is adjective or she is adjective. As you can see, it's an identical structure to the English. You may have noticed that an adjective was also used in the first sentence of the dialogue. Did you notice it? It's oudere, older. By adding this, we give additional information about the brother. Here, the listener learns that it's the speaker's older brother who is the tall one, which is useful in case you have more than one sibling. Another peculiarity you may have noticed. Here and there, you'll find this Y with 2 dots on it. Here in mijn, hij, zij, etc. As you can tell from my pronunciation, this is a vowel that in Dutch is pronounced ei. In handwriting, commonly you write it as a Y with 2 dots on it, but when you type it on the computer, it's actually a combination of an I and a J, which is why the dots are here. But even though it's a combination of an I and a J, in Dutch it is considered a vowel pronounced ei. Ei. Do you remember how to say tall? Lang. Lang. And how to say he? Hij. Hij. Do you remember how to say he is tall? Hij is lang. Hij is lang. And how to say short? Klein. Klein. Do you remember how to say slim? Slank. Slank. And how to say fat? Dik. Dik. Do you remember how to say beautiful? Mooi. Mooi. And how to say ugly? Lelijk. Lelijk. Do you remember how to say bald? Kaal. Kaal. And how to say young? Jong. Jong. Do you remember how to say old? Oud. Oud. In this lesson, you learned common adjectives for describing people in Dutch. Thanks for watching. I'm Thomas and I'll see you on DutchPod101.com. Tot ziens!
Hallo allemaal, ik heet Marleen. Hi everybody, I'm Marleen. Welcome to DutchPod101.com's Nederlands in 3 minuten. the fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Dutch. Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Hi, I'm Marleen. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Dutch expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Dutch. We'll start speaking right away, but first it's important to clarify that in Dutch, there's a difference between the formal and the informal language. Let's first see how Dutch people introduce themselves in an informal situation. Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Hi, I'm Marleen. Nice to meet you. Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Start by saying, hallo, ik heet. Then say your name. Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Finally say, leuk je te ontmoeten. Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Leuk je te ontmoeten. And now, let's see the same sentence in formal speech. Goedendag, ik heet Marleen van den Berg. Aangenaam. Good day, I'm Marleen van den Berg. Pleasure to meet you. Goedendag, ik heet Marleen van den Berg. Aangenaam. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these expressions together. Hallo has been substituted with the formal greeting Goedendag, which is Dutch for good day. Ik heet Marleen has not been changed. Ik heet simply means I am called. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. So I said, Marleen van den Berg. Here you would say your full name. One more time. The informal way to introduce yourself in Dutch is Hallo, ik heet Marleen. Leuk je te ontmoeten. The formal way to introduce yourself is Goedendag, ik heet Marleen van den Berg. Aangenaam. Now it's time for Marleen's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands. If you are not sure whether to use leuk je te ontmoeten or aangenaam, just say simply aangenaam, as this expression can be used in both the formal and informal introduction. If you use the correct sentence with Dutch people, they're definitely going to be impressed. That's it for this lesson. Do you know how we say thank you in Dutch? You'll learn how to say this and many other words in the next Nederlands in 3 minuten lesson. Tot ziens!
Want to master grammar so you can speak properly, express yourself better, and understand more? In this video, I'll show you how to master grammar with our lessons and learning program. Let's begin. Number 1. Listen to the lesson conversations and explanations. In every lesson, you learn a conversation. Then, our teachers break down every word and grammar rule. So you're actually learning grammar rules in the context of conversations, and you can easily see how they're used. Once you're done, review the conversation again and again to remember what you've learned. Number 2. Read the bonus explanations and tutorials. With the lesson notes, you get extra grammar explanations and examples that are not presented in the lesson. After you're done with the lesson, read the lesson notes for extra review. You can even save them as PDFs so that you can access them anytime. Number 3. Leave a comment on the lesson. Once you've learned a grammar point, be sure to use it. Leave a comment in the comments section. Write some example sentences for practice. Our teachers will review your comment and give you feedback. Number 4. Unlock even more grammar lessons. If you want to find all of the grammar lessons available, visit our lesson library. Under Category, choose Grammar. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons dedicated to helping you learn and master sentence patterns and grammar points. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas. Hallo daar. Ik ben Thomas. Welcome to another Dutch whiteboard lesson. In this lesson, you'll learn to make basic comparisons in Dutch. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary. First, we have the Dutch word for small, which is klein. 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 And then if you want to make comparisons and turn it into smaller, it becomes kleiner. 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 Got that? Okay. Let's go to its opposite. Big. In Dutch, groot. Tricky to pronounce, but if you can pronounce this, you'll probably be able to pronounce anything in Dutch. Groot. Groot. And to make comparisons, bigger in Dutch becomes groter. 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 Very good. Let's move on to new in Dutch, which sounds quite similar. Nieuw. 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 And if you want to make comparisons, nieuwer. 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 Good. Now let's look at its opposite, old, which in Dutch is oud. 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 And for comparisons, ouder. 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 Okay. Now, cold in Dutch sounds quite similar to the previous one. Koud. 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 And then I think you see this coming. If you want to make comparisons, it becomes kouder. 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 Now finally, let's look at its opposite. Warm in English becomes, well, very similar. Warm. 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 And then finally, for comparisons, warmer. 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 Let's look at the dialogue. While I read, I want you to pay attention to the adjectives. Find the adjective and see how it's used in the dialogue to indicate comparison. Is Den Haag klein? Is Den Haag klein? In English, is The Hague small? Then we move to the answer. Den Haag is kleiner dan Amsterdam. Den Haag is kleiner dan Amsterdam. The Hague is smaller than Amsterdam. As you can see, the essential rule is that you add er to the basic adjective to create a comparison. This is the same as in English. In Dutch, klein becomes kleiner, just as in English, small becomes smaller. English does have many adjectives that require adding the word more to create a comparison. This also happens in Dutch, but much less often. For most adjectives, adding er at the end does the trick. Now let's look at some more examples. Amsterdam is groter dan Den Haag. Amsterdam is groter dan Den Haag. Amsterdam is bigger than The Hague. Next one. Spanje is warmer dan Nederland. Spanje is warmer dan Nederland. Spain is warmer than the Netherlands. The names of Dutch cities usually remain the same in English, but with a slight change of pronunciation. For example, in English, Amsterdam hardly changes from the Dutch Amsterdam. The original Dutch pronunciation of Utrecht is Utrecht. Sounds a little bit different, but the spelling doesn't change. The Hague is a rare exception. Its name literally means the hedge and refers to the aristocratic hunting grounds where the city originated, more than 10 centuries ago. Since we are on the topic of Dutch cities, here's a fun fact. Amsterdam is the official capital, but unlike in most countries, the capital city is not the seat of government. The Dutch government is located in The Hague, as is the main palace of the Dutch royal family. Do you remember how to say Amsterdam? Amsterdam. Amsterdam. And how to say The Hague? Den Haag. Den Haag. Do you remember how to say small? Klein. Klein. And how to say smaller? Kleiner. Kleiner. Do you remember how to say is smaller than? Is kleiner dan. Is kleiner dan. And how to say The Hague is smaller than Amsterdam. Den Haag is kleiner dan Amsterdam. Den Haag is kleiner dan Amsterdam. Do you remember how to say big? Groot. Groot. And how to say bigger? Groter. Groter. Do you remember how to say new? Nieuw. Nieuw. And how to say newer? Nieuwer. Nieuwer. Do you remember how to say old? Oud. Oud. And how to say older? Ouder. Ouder. Do you remember how to say cold? Koud. Koud. And how to say colder? Kouder. Kouder. Do you remember how to say warm? Warm. Warm. And how to say warmer? Warmer. Warmer. In this lesson, you learned how to make basic comparisons in Dutch. Thanks for watching. I'm Thomas and I'll see you on DutchPod101.com. Tot ziens!
Hallo allemaal, ik heet Marleen. Hi everybody, I'm Marleen. Welcome to DutchPod101.com's Nederlands in 3 minuten. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Dutch. In the previous lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Dutch. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Ben je er klaar voor? Are you ready? Let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Bedankt. Bedankt. Bedankt means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add zeer at the beginning. Zeer bedankt. Zeer means a lot, so zeer bedankt is like saying thank you very much. During the last lesson, we discussed the informal and the formal way of speaking Dutch. Bedankt is the casual way to thank someone. If you want to be more formal, there's another phrase you should use. Dank u wel. Dank u wel. Let's break this phrase down. Dank is thank, and u is a formal word for you. We will discuss Dutch pronouns in more depth in a later lesson. Finally, wel means a lot. The full sentence once again is dank u wel. Actually, there's also an informal form of the expression dank u wel. In an informal setting, the correct expression is dank je wel. Dank je wel. The u from the expression dank u wel is simply replaced by je. Je is the informal word for you. How do you answer? It's easy. Here's the most common response. Graag gedaan. Graag gedaan. Graag gedaan can be used with just about anybody. Literally, this phrase means happily done or I did it with pleasure. So when someone is saying bedankt to you, we can simply reply with graag gedaan. Now it's time for Marleen's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use bedankt, dank u wel or dank je wel, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Bedankt can be used with just about anyone, anywhere and at any time. Do you know what tot ziens means? In our next lesson, you'll learn this and other greetings in Dutch. Tot ziens!
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Dutch ebook before it's gone.